That's right, folks. It's another late night and time for another reach into the Just Giggle It grab bag. And tonight we're pulling out, ooh, it's a musical. Randy and Sandy Newman's, Randy and Sandy Newman, Under the Covers. Just Giggle It sketch number 42. My oh my, Tiki, yet another Piper Hinsen related sketch, a parody in this case. I wonder if there's a theme. Why are we doing this? Why yet again has it come up Piper Hinsen? Tell me, why do you think?
Because, Dragon, it's time to pay the piper.
Purdue.
Ew.
That's right.
All right, Dragon. So, man, oh man, this one was a delight, and this one was an 11th hour pick made by the great Joshua Thomas himself in a live stream. And oh my God, Dragon, I'm so delighted that this exists.
Let me tell you how serendipitous all of this really is, folks. Because again, I don't know if you recall, we had an opening act
Yes,
to our
yes.
hin season of the grab bag, if you will. We had a. I'm still trying to make it work. Hin season. It could be big. Anyway, seriously though, we did have a special opening recap, which was of course Mark Sipka's My Special Family Special. And just by sheer coincidence, Joshua Thomas had recently kind of done a really impromptu kind of interview and kind of a series of fun like kind of conversational videos with Mark Sipka. Hence the recommendation, hence the Sipka of it all, and hence just kind of the correlation of Sipka doing his Randy Newman, which of course correlates to a video of Sipka doing Randy Newman, which brings up the conversation of Sipka doing his Randy Newman, which of course correlates with Piper Hinsen. Hence Joshua Thomas's suggestion. It's all connected, folks. It is.
Dragon, I'm actually going to go ahead and put a link to the description in, for that stream, because that was honestly such a fun stream to be a part of.
It was a lot of fun.
And yeah, they were really they were really going off about how many ideas for songs were thrown out in this, and Piper was just having such a good time with the character and with the whole idea of it, and just doing all the all the Randy Newman karaoke, essentially. Dragon, this is the type of thing where it sounds like such a fun thing to shoot. You know what I mean? It sounds like shooting this thing would be nothing but joy.
Yeah.
So, all right. Do you have any other background on this one, Dragon? Do you
Yeah,
want to
just a smidge.
instant of it all?
Yeah, well, of course. So first off, this was written and directed by Mark Sipka, which kind of again the whole Sipka of it all. And this was edited by Joshua Thomas. So of course the genesis of this is pretty straightforward. It's Sipka, of course, a man of many talents. Stand-up comedy, many physical comedy, but of course a lot of impressions. Great impressionists, which folks, if you didn't get enough of that from the special, which we all recommend you check out. That live stream, my God, that live stream demonstrated, because we always knew that Sipka did a mean Al Pacino impression with the whole another Joshua Thomas grand slam.
Oh, no. Okay, yeah, that was great. That was great. But Dragon Sipka was wonderful. It was great to interact with him. I had a blast. I really want to see that man live, Dragon. I really want to see that man live at some point. And it's not infeasible because I go to his neck of the woods about 3 times a year to see my pals. So, it's not infeasible that our paths will cross at some point. But Dragon, my favorite moment of that stream was, oh God, when they were talking about Aladdin and they got to the genie and Nick Cage came up.
And we had the chorus of Nick Cage and Alfred. We basically had a chorus of
Dragon, I lost it. I lost it. That was one of those moments where I was just laughing so hard I couldn't breathe.
Now here's the funny thing, Tiki. While that was going on, I was trying to signal you something. So here's what happened.
Oh God. Okay.
So I've been basically tuned into all 3 of the streams that were going on that day, and during the second one, I believe, when they're playing Kingdom Hearts, which kind of brought about kind of the Disney of it all. I believe that's when it was first brought up. It could have been the Spyro one. They did like a little 9-minute test. Then they kind of did a kind of basically showing Sipka what's what with Kingdom Hearts. Point being, The Aladdin trailer did come up, and basically it was said there that Sipka had not seen it. He's kind of like sparing himself from seeing it because, again, he wasn't sure if he could take it or not. And then when you said that, I was like, oh no, Tiki, the poor Rube, he didn't see the other, he didn't see the other stream. No, he's gonna endanger Sipka's innocence. No. And I don't know if I don't believe I was able to type it out because basically it was too late by the time I was having this friends like, Dickie, you sick monster, what are you doing?
Oh god.
Or something along those lines. I'm like, no,
what,
Dickie.
Dragon, I have no regrets because it led to Nick Cage Genie, alright?
It did, so yes, you're absolutely right, it was all worth it. But here's the funny thing, while that was happening, I think I even put in the comments to this extent of like, look at the like camera on Sipka's face, because you can actually see, if you look real close, you can kind of see him just kind of the what face where it's just I was thinking like the loss. I was thinking to myself, the loss of innocence. Look at that face. Look at him. You see kind of like, you see, seriously, if you go back there, almost like there's a Zapruder footage. If you go back and you freeze frame, you can see the smiling intrigue turn to a little bit of a frown. It turns into a little bit of like a no, a soft no in the thought process of Mark Sipka.
So what you're saying, Dragon, what you're saying is essentially, hello, darkness, my old friend.
Well, in a less cliche way, but yes. But seriously, again, that was the point being is a roundabout way of saying Sipka does impressions really well and even better than any of us ever thought. We knew he could do voices and characters really well, mainly characters. We've seen him do really great characters, and hence the whole origin of his mother, of the female voice impression for Mark Sipka being a loving impression of his mother, which is delightful. And we've seen him kind of get in the character like that. But my God, again, we've seen all the Just Giggle It, and even Poncio do impressions I never imagined Poncio could do. Again, this isn't about Poncio. This isn't even about Sipka. But just to get to the
but really quick, Dragon, I just need to acknowledge, I am convinced that Gilbert Gottfried is actually Poncio.
I would love. It's like the episode of Family Guy back when Family Guy was good, when you had the Rush Limbaugh, Fred Savage, and Michael Moore thing, which still I find hilarious. Just enjoying a Michael Moore documentary or two when I get to see that Fred Savage has portrayed both of these very polar opposite personalities, both Rush Limbaugh and Michael Moore. It's almost like a Mander Manufacturing Award type reveal. It's like one of those reveals, and that's basically what we have with Poncio. Secretly, Poncio is Gilbert Gottfried in his off time, and God knows how many other celebrities.
Oh God, I still need to see Gilbert, Dragon.
I'd love to think that Poncio is also Bryce from 13 Reasons in his off time. That's what I'd like to think, but
Wait, Bryce from What?
I've told you this with some of our fan castings. If you, I don't, it doesn't matter anyway. We'll talk later.
All right.
Anyway, okay. So circling back to relevancy, if I may. So, point is, Sipka, man of many impressions, and we also have we're really here to celebrate with our hint season of the grab bag, kind of already paying the piper her due. Piper Hinsen, of course, each of these videos are trying to kind of
seriously pay the piper.
Get my checkbook. It's time to pay the piper. So Piper Hinsen off to the side, just kind of like tapping her foot and just a little checking her watch, like, okay, just waiting to get paid. Buy some shoes. I don't know. So, point being, Piper Hinsen, so she's, of course...
weekend, which means I have to wait an extra day for my paycheck anyways.
Binging the Americans, just waiting for it all to come together. Come on, Stan, put it together. Put the pieces together. Let's get to season 6. Anyway, getting back on point here. Piper, here to celebrate many facets of the performer, the wondrous performer that is Piper Hinsen, kind of the Amazon goddess, the Wonder Woman of JGI. If each member is like a founding member, like the Holy Trinity of DC, you have Joshua Thomas as your face man, your Superman, or as we both come to learn, our Nick Cage Superman of Just Giggle It.
Blah, blah, blah,
precisely. Dude, I had no idea he did such a spot-on, wonderful Nick Cage. I had no idea. I was so delighted by it. Anyway, so again, seriously, Nick Cage Superman, one of these days. Anyway, so you have your Nick Cage Superman, you have your Poncio Batman, of course, like the guy, like, just toss it to Poncio, knocks out of the ballpark. And of course, right smack dab in the middle, the glue, if you will, the reason Harley Quinn, the Joker versus the real world is a series and not just a one-off. sketch, the kind of the connective, kind of the big hook of the whole series, the Addison character, which is brought to life by Piper Hinsen. Piper Hinsen, woman of many talents, extraordinaire. We've covered her directing prowess, we've covered her performing prowess, and now we're going to kind of celebrate her singing prowess in a very unconventional way. So, oddly enough, this whole sketch is about a marriage, and you kind of take the marriage of Sipka's impersonations and Piper Hinsen's singing chops, and you incorporate it into kind of parody comedy of it all. And the two, as Tiki mentioned, the two coordinated and rehearsed like covers like crazy even before they were really even in production. And basically, their main kind of thought process was, let's pick songs for Randy Newman in stereo that just don't go together. That's pretty much it. All right. Should we do some housekeeping with Harley Quinn the Joker, or should we save it for the end?
Oh, let's do it. Let's do it, Dragon. You know what? I actually, I'm sorry. I have to, I'm tending to some technical difficulties on the audio end, so it would be very helpful if you could, buy me a couple minutes.
Sure. Well, I do have a big update that happened today, Tiki, this very day.
Oh, so as
the folks at home know, of course, we've been promoting Harley Quinn and Joker versus the Real World, which is an excellent web series. If you love the characters of Joker and Harley Quinn, especially if you're a big Batman fan, you're 80 years strong and going at this point. You're a fan of the Batman, you're a fan of these characters, presumably, and of course you're a fan of the Joker. Why wouldn't you be a fan of Harley Quinn? You love these characters. Look no further. We live in a year of proto Jokers. You know what? That's all fine and dandy. I appreciate the storytelling they're going with there. That's all fine and dandy. I'm a big fan of Gotham here. By the same token, folks, I want an honest to goodness Joker. And of course, we always have Mark Hamill in our hearts. We have the Heath Ledger if we're kind of looking broadly in cinema. Hopefully that might change in the future again, because I mean, why not have a few other great Jokers in the line of things? But look no further. If you're looking for immediate satisfaction, gratification, look no further. Look to this web series, Harley Quinn, the Joker versus the Real World. Essentially, it's the characters you know, kind of a pache of all the great interpretations, all the great qualities of these characters in film, animation, comics. It's kind of a best of amalgamation of performance. It's almost a definitive version, a definitive kind of man on the ground interpretation of these characters with them in a new setting complete. So we kind of take them in faithful beyond compare realization, and we take these faithful interpretations of these characters and we kind of give them a new occasion for story. We take them and we put them in LA. So they move from Gotham, look for new opportunities. They're in LA, and of course facing the challenges of kind of starting from the ground up, as well as kind of dealing with the mundanities of being in LA, and of course not being realized because LA's full of crazies anyway. What's two more? And we have like a number of great side characters like Alex Poncio as Howie, our meter maid turned kind of valet / henchman / man of many hats for Mr. J, if you will, and of course Piper Hinsen as Addison, kind of roommate to Harley Quinn and Joker, kind of giving them kind of cover fire, kind of giving them kind of almost like kind of an alter ego in their days, so to speak, kind of roommate, all that sort of stuff. And of course, we're trying to get episode 5 up to 1 million views. If we do that, we get episode 6, which currently, here's the big update, currently, episode 6 is being edited. Man, it's being edited.
Edited
by Joshua Thomas himself. We know each
other. You hear that, Oscars? That's how you make movies.
Yes. Seriously though, my
God. To make movies, Academy Awards.
Yeah. So,
all right. I'm sorry,
Joshua Thomas, the man, the myth, the legend, the Nick Cage impersonator. He's my God, he's editing it. We know the man edits like a storm. He actually had a little joke today. If you go to the Discord page, you know all this. And of course, there's a little bit of it on the Just Giggle community page. Just kind of follow the thread, and then you'll get to the Discord page. Which, if you want all the up-to-date updates of Harley Quinn and the Joker, look no further. Go there. Fun community there, fun fan community of Just Giggle It. Point being, he showed some images from the edit that he's currently working on. So, folks, we're that much closer to the episode just being in the can, waiting for release. I know they're trying to get a screening together, kind of help boost the numbers, so we don't have like another long wait in between episodes like we did between episode 5 and episode 6. But the fact of the matter is, folks, we wouldn't have that wait if we can get episode 6 up to 1 million views, and you can help it. You can help that. See, what we're doing now, talking about Just Giggle It, kind of talking about Harley Quinn and Joker versus the Real World. Look, we love to do our part here, but let's just face realities, folks. It's a drop in the bucket. We're not doing enough. We're doing as much as we can. Fortunately, it's not enough, but You folks, you hold the keys to the kingdom here. You can help save the day. You can help get us more episodes of Harley Quinn, the Joker vs. the Real. So I don't want to hear you get to episode 5 and you realize, like, where's the next one? Stop saying where's the next one. I'm telling you right now, the next one is in your hands. Sooner it'll be in a can on a shelf in Joshua Thomas's giant prince-like vault. It'll be ready and waiting, and all it's waiting for is to get that episode 5 up to 1 million views, because that's what the demand is going to be. That's what the demand should be tenfold by now. And I'm not blaming you folks, but I'm saying you can make it happen. Share it. Don't just refresh it, because I've tried that, and believe me, it's not going to get the view count up. Believe me, if that were the case, it would have been done after it premiered. Point being, rewatch it all the way through. Don't just hit a refresh button. Send it around. More importantly, spread the word, because when episode 6 does happen, we're going to need that word. They kind of spread like wildfire, as it has with episode 5. We get it to 1 million views, and people are going to be hooked on the show. They're going to check it out. We're going to get more in the bank. It'll be great. But remember, folks, it's up to you. We've done all we can, and we're getting there, but we're getting there at a snail's pace. You can help pick up the pace. You can spread the word and get this series made. There are plans, folks. There are plans I can tease you with, but I won't be cruel. Folks, it can happen. It could happen. Josh Thomas has joked that if by tomorrow the view count were up to 1 million, that he'd edit like the wind, because that just shows you the dedication to this project, the wonderment of this project, how faithful it is to these characters. It's the show that these characters deserve to have made about them. And again, it's a new occasion for story. It's creativity. It's not just a parody. There's so much great stuff to mine from this series, but you want to see where it's going to go. We got to work together. All right.
All right, Dragon, I am just about there.
All right. Wow. Okay.
No,
so,
nicely said, my friend.
Okay. Again, Harley Quinn, the Joker vs. the Real World, episode 5. Why'd you pause this? You watch that, then you come back to this and tell us how it was in the comments.
Okay, let me see. Let me see if that did it. I paid for some more data on my phone so that we can actually play a clip or two from this. Do you want to just set up the general premise, Dragon, really quick for
Sure.
Thing?
So folks, to keep it simple, Randy Newman, God love him, of course, the composer, the composer, musician, singer. The guy's got so many fields covered. Randy Newman, as we know and love him. Been a while since he's really kind of done something of note, or kind of wrote kind of like it's been a while since we've heard like kind of an original Randy Newman song. The last time I can really recall was Toy Story 3 with "We Belong Together." It's really the last time I personally remember kind of a new Randy Newman song. And this sketch
there must have been others. There must have been other Pixar movies after that he composed.
Well, no, I'm saying not. I'm just mean writing a song for it. I know he's composed other things, but I mean, well, honestly, okay. Now you bring that up. Okay, after Toy Story 3, actually, I assume he's doing the score for Toy Story 4. But aside from that, Tiki, the answer would be no for other Randy Newman scores. Wait, no. Monsters University is the only other possible it could have been. It was either Monsters University or he hasn't done anything until potentially Toy Story 4. So in terms of composing, we're talking about songs right now.
Okay, gotcha. Sorry.
The point being, let's list off a few of the favorites that we have for Randy Newman. Like for me, of course, you've got a friend of me. Of course,
I Will Go Sailing No More.
Yep, Strange Things. That's a great one. Love Strange Things.
Our Town.
Yep. Let's see. Time. Oh, I love Tommy Your Life from Bugs Life. That's a great one.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
One of my favorites. That's a non-Pixar pick. When You're a Fool in Love. I love that song. Again, say what you will about Meet the Parents. Not a perfect movie, but again, it kind of it got the foot in the door. And I got to tell you, that movie has a fantastic opening with that Randy Newman song. If you've seen me, sorry, Dave, no, it's an obvious question, but it's for humor me for the folks out there. You've seen Meet the Parents, haven't you?
Can't say that I have.
Really? Because I mean, you've cited me. Oh wait, no, you've cited Father of the Bride. That's what I'm thinking of. Point being, Tiki, if you ever go back and recommendation,
Bride.
I know. I was just thinking because I know you've mentioned kind of the whole, the boy meeting the girl's parents story. So I mean, we've always kind of cited Father of the Bride the whole with your pitch for a number of things. Point being, that movie, Tiki,
what Incredibles 2 should have been instead of what it was.
You're not. You just Doesn't matter. Okay. Point being, the opening of Meet the Parents is a really lovely Randy Newman song that really is kind of played against a montage where you get to see Ben Stiller's character, see Greg Fokker, fall in love with I believe the Terry Polo character. Yeah, the point is to fall in love with Pam, fall in love with Jack Burns' daughter, and it's a really beautiful sequence, again underscored perfectly by that Randy Newman music. So it's a beautiful love song. And the point is, all the talent of Randy Newman, and of course you know him like that. And of course Sipka being Randy Newman, explaining why he's been absent for such a long time, and he's coming back with some new stuff.
And also, I'm sorry, really quick, we need to address that goddamn Family Guy cameo.
Yes. So
it's so memorable. It's so memorable.
All right, well, you tell them about that.
So it's basically just like it's during the apocalypse, and the Griffin family just finds Randy Newman on like some farmhouse or something.
Not just any apocalypse, the Y2K phenomena of
Oh god! And Randy Newman's just out there playing his piano, happy as could be, and he's literally just like narrating everything that he sees, like like the apples and the pretty lady and the birds.
Basically, Randy Newman, just without steady work, he's just kind of a happy soul, just kind of basically singing about everything he sees. But this again, I think the obvious question is, were they inspired by that? And again, they could be, even if they weren't, or they were. I mean, again, I think the end result is kind of a fun takeoff of kind of that classic Randy Newman gag.
Oh,
I gotta be honest. I mean, there are two Randy Newman gags that really come to mind from Family Guy. Again, that's the better one, but the other one was basically a Randy Newman trailer where it was kind of Randy Newman, basically a very standard, generic Randy Newman underscored premise of Randy Newman basically describing everything in a trailer.
Right. Got it.
So the point being, so Randy Newman, he's been gone for a while, and we find out why he was gone and who we found along the way, and it's basically kind of spinning almost like a new album of sorts. That's pretty much her premise.
Hello, world. Randy Newman here. Wishing all of you a happy day. Now you're probably asking yourself, Randy, where you been? I miss you and all your catchy tunes. Well, He's been a little busy. Oh. I got busy getting married to this sweet little thing right here. Well, meet Sandy. She's an angel with the voice of an angel.
All right, I don't want to just play the whole thing here, but man, I just like Sipka's impression is just, and Piper's too. I mean, we need to talk about Piper's performance as well, of course.
Yeah, so let's start off there. So of course we have Mark Sipka as Randy Newman, and again, I love this boat. Tell me if I'm crazy with this. I mean, I could be completely coincidental, but Randy Newman's shirt, doesn't it look like it has Toy Story clouds on it? Am I crazy with that?
Toy Story what clouds?
Yeah, the Toy Story clouds. Like the old wallpaper clouds. Like on his shirt, he has like one of the.
Yeah, like it doesn't, but I could see where you would get the idea.
I'd love to think. I think it's just a happy accident, but imagine if it were intentional, man. I mean, I've seen those types of shirts, but then I've never seen it looks almost like a cloud pattern. Might be like a Freudian thing. I don't know. I mean, anyway. So the voice is spot on. Again, Sipka's doing an excellent impression because it sounds just like.
I just love the beginning where he's just kind of like scatting like Louis Prima. He's just like blah 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 did you blah. I can't do it. I don't do it justice. Like this is why I need to play Sipka's voice, man, because we're never gonna do it.
Of course, he's got the hair and the glasses and everything. He just looks spot on. It's like basically there's like this little niche, Tiki, where you have a parody where again you don't look 100% like the guy, but if you look just enough like him, but if you deliver over in one quality, one aspect, like again the voice of the impression is spot on, and even if he doesn't look 100% like the guy, he looks just enough like the guy, and the impression carries the rest of the way through. And that's kind of the perfect marriage he's got going on there. So basically, it's like, hello world, Randy Newman here. And wishing all of you a happy day. And I gotta tell you, I just love how happy-go-lucky Randy Newman is. I don't know why. Just like, I love to think the guy who wrote "You've Got a Friend to Me" would be that happy-go-lucky. I would like,
well,
might just
kind of like the traditional like joke of Randy Newman is that he's like the most cheerful, pleasant guy.
Yeah. So, and of course, he's basically kind of addressing the audience here. And again, this is really well framed in where it goes, because I love how this kind of turns into a number of things in the direction here. So we start off, it's Randy Newman's playing a piano, like we're just checking in Randy, good old Randy Newman. He's saying, you're probably asking yourselves, Randy, where you been? I miss you and your catchy tunes. And again, this is a very solid point, because basically when it was brought up here, it kind of occurred to me, oh my God, yeah, they're right. We really don't hear that much from Randy Newman, especially like in regards to songs. I mean, again, it's been a while since he scored something, but yeah, he hasn't really. Yeah, it has been a while since the catchy tunes. Well, I'm hooked on the video now. What's going on here? So as we're about to get an answer, is I've been a little. Then of course enter kind of the all star of this here. We have Piper Hinsen as not Randy Newman, but Sandy Newman. This is he's
Oh
been
my
a
God,
little busy.
it just gets cranked up to 11, Dragon. This is such a brilliant idea.
So Piper Hinsen as Sandy Newman. So here's the fun fact. So okay, so in the sketch, Randy Newman has just gotten married. I got married to this sweet little thing here. And in real life, oddly enough, Randy Newman is married with 3 kids.
Is married to,
I'm sorry?
Is married to who? I'm sorry?
He's married with 3 kids in real life.
Oh, okay.
I believe her name's Gretchen. I think it's a German woman, actually. I don't know. The point being, I don't know if they just like I don't know if they were trying to have like a sub narrative here of like maybe Randy Newman's been a while. He got remarried. Went to Vegas and got married. Who knows? Maybe he got married.
I can just kind of like accept like it's an alternate reality. It's a parody. We're kind of playing fact.
Well, I know. I mean, that's the obvious go-to there, and I think that's great. And that's what I assume. But rewatch, like what if it was like you got remarried to like a Vegas impersonator of Randy Newman? Maybe that's the story.
Yeah, Dragon, because that's the thing, man. It's like Sandy Newman. Oh my. Like, Dragon, this is one of those characters in our inevitable, like, let's pitch, like, a Just Giggle It cinematic universe. This would be one of the characters of said cinematic universe.
Yeah, like, here's the thing. Like, Sandy Newman has, like a Jessica Jones kind of like a mini-series going on there. Like, let's see the origin of Sandy Newman. Anyway,
I like the idea of Randy Newman falling in love with a Vegas impersonator of himself.
Yeah, it's almost like a Billy Crystal movie version of a love story. Just like just kind of going around. Almost like a Forget Paris sort of premise, like Forget Paris, or I guess the more obvious comparison, like When Harry Met Sally. Like he befriends Sandy Newman, but there's something there, darn it, there's something there, and they won't say it right. Until Randy Newman gives an impassioned speech at the end there. There are a number of things I don't like about you. One, you look like me, but I don't know this. Point being,
I think the fact that she does look and sound like him is kind of what draws them to each other.
I know. I'm just making a bad comparison to the end of Harry Met Sally. But yes, the point is that's the thing. So there's obviously a bit of narcissism with Randy Newman in here, which is quite hilarious. The idea he fall in love with himself. Like seems like such a happy-go-lucky guy, but little vanity there, just little vanity there. It's just great, So again, since we kind of talked about earlier in kind of our hint season here with Piper Hinsen, is that it shows the mark of a great performer, especially a great comedy performer, a great actress, I suppose, is that you're not afraid to look silly, you're not afraid to just go for it. I think that's what Piper Hinsen did here, because you got to imagine this, Steve. Piper Hinsen, as we know, she is, she's next. We've heard her sing on a number of occasions. Again, she's
yeah.
I'm not just talking about that. I mean, I think she's really a good singer. Her rendition of Danny Boy, without saying what it's connected to.
Yeah, Danny Boy, man.
Danny Boy is lovely. The way her rendition of Danny Boy is just utterly, it's wonderful. And again, there are other things. I remember, like in our Harley Quinn and Joker Christmas pitch, we pitched that she'd be singing all the Christmas songs. Yeah, I really think that'd be.
I think she'd specifically be good at "Oh Holy Night."
Oh, sure. Anyway, so So the point being, like that's kind of the thing, is that it takes basically she has to sing not necessarily badly, but she has to sing really. That's the thing. Like you're in a position where you have to sing a song that is completely not befitting of your range, of your vocal range, of what she's putting on here in this Randy Newman impression. The fact that one, it's a woman who sounds exactly like Randy Newman. Secondly, it's a woman who sounds exactly like Randy Newman, who again is trying to sing like Randy Newman, and again sing in a duet of Randy Newman. So again, it's very.
I think that's the trickiest part, Dragon. I really do. Like the
And
fact
yet,
sound identical to each other and they're trying to like bounce off of each other.
and again, the crazy thing is that again they're doing this, and again it sounds it's not it's not terrible, but it's obviously off. The songs are off, and that's the thing. It's like it's intentionally flawed, and they get intentionally flawed, and have it come across.
I mean, I like the idea that Randy Newman is doing this. Like, yeah, it's like a Randy Newman, like you've never seen Randy Newman before.
Yeah. So and the idea is again they're trying to, it's just so again it's so rare that you can have something like that work and have it play like have a flaw play that well and that calculated and again have it come across, and that sounds like a premise doomed for failure. It sounds like what we're always saying Just Giggle It isn't. It sounds like you click on something like, okay, it's just people being silly for like a little short spell, ha ha ha, okay, we're a wig that it's making fun of Rand. It's almost like like an epic rap, like the epic rap battle guy voice. It's like, okay, we're done here, okay. And it's not. There's substance to it. There's a wit to it, and I think that really comes across.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so of course we have meet Sandy. She's an angel with the voice of an angel. And of course there's also a bit of sauciness to all this here. Is just we've been making nothing but sweet music since we've been hitched. And guys, I just like Piper's impression of Randy Newman. It's just great. It gets feminized Randy Newman, but still more Randy Newman than feminine. It's just perfect. God, it's great. It's just, that's right, honey. We are in love, and we want to share it with the world. Our love. We want to share with the world our love of music and each other. So they made an album. And Tiki, what's that album called?
It's called Under the Covers.
Yep. Oh God. And oh jeez. All right.
You make me feel so young. You make me feel like spring has sprung. Ooh, I wanna dance with somebody. I wanna feel the heat with somebody. Yeah, I wanna dance with somebody.
All right.
I think we get I think we get how it sounds. But point being, I want to highlight this before we kind of dig into just kind of listing off songs. Unfortunately, folks, it's with the majority of this is probably going to be us listing songs. But real quick, I love how it's basically this feels like a very elaborate commercial. How a very elaborate kind of music, like an album commercial, starts. The old album commercial. I remember last time I saw.
You know what it reminds me of is it reminds me of one of those old commercials for like a compilation CD, like the greatest classic heavy metal hits of the 80s. We've got this song and don't forget about this song, and your heart will swoon when you remember this song.
To me, there are a couple of funny examples that really come to mind, but I think the king example for me is always going to be Bruce Almighty, where Bruce Nolan, Jim Carrey's character, basically he's trying to win Jennifer Aniston back, he's trying to win Grace back, and he basically has trying to manipulate his surroundings, and he's trying to her surroundings. He's crafted this commercial with his godlike power. Of all these really obvious, like Bruce one, it's him having an album, so again it's very suspect, and two, it's all these very targeted, very obvious apology love songs that are playing with Jim Carrey basically having like all these kind of these very generic kind of like romantic like Fabio backdrops. The point is, like, these album commercials can be really hilarious when done right, and I think they kind of did something in the tradition of that here. I don't have to tell you about Kids Bop, right? I mean, you know about all sorts. Oh,
God, no, yeah, of course.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I got so sick of those Kid Bops.
Is ridiculous, man. Jesus.
Those commercials. And that's the thing, like, you know, the old roll and crawl. And of course, I think the most recent tasteful example we saw of anything was Spider-Verse with the Spider-Man Christmas album.
That was definitely a tasteful example. That's a great example.
Precisely. So all of that said, that's
album, Dragon.
The thing about what we're doing in the direction here, Tiki, it's so elaborate in that we start with this kind of random playing the piano, then we go to dancing, and then we go to kind of the ad of it all with, like, you know, the text on the screen as the songs are being sung. It's thing, but it goes from the piano to then there's kind of dancing like a married couple, then to of course to all the various permutations. And I love how the styles get increasingly more ridiculous and more modern as it is basically takes Random completely out of his comfort zone continually. So I think it starts with the crowd pleasers, but then again the crowd pleasers but again people love yet are not really ideal for Randy Newman, especially Randy Newman in a duet, like Randy Newman in stereo, you know. So we start with "You Make Me Feel Sing," which, by the way, a little fun fact.
Honestly, I think that one is a good Randy Newman type song.
It is, and you know, for me, "You Make Me Feel So Young" is one of my favorite Sinatra songs. By the way, basically I think my first two Sinatra songs were "You Make Me Feel So Young" and "Luck Be a Lady Tonight." So I got a soft spot for those songs. Whenever that comes up, it's like, oh man, it's one of my favorites. Yeah. So basically, those are the songs that kind of made me fall in love with Sinatra. So I mean, I get a lot of reverence for them. So then we have like these musical transitions. I mean, the transitions are pretty good. Like, kind of music cuts to it. Again, it gets increasingly sloppy on purpose, and I really like that. We start off like some really tasteful edits, and then it gets more and more random and kind of choppy, and it's great.
I really like the costume changes. I feel like a lot of work and thought went into that.
Right, so then we go to Dance with Somebody with Sandy in this workout getup, which just
God. Like the red leotard, and then Randy's got like the red, white, and blue stars and stripes jacket.
Yep. Then we get to "Hey Jude," and we get to okay. Here, this is where
I feel like "Somebody to Love" is it's not really an appropriate Randy Newman song. They do it as well as they can. "Hey Jude" is a very well-loved song, but not really in the Randy Newman verse. And this is kind of in the point of the video where I'm like, okay, this is like, yeah, they're not doing it well. They're not doing the song justice at this point. So it's like it's a slippery slope, Dragon.
And I feel the next one's really when you realize, okay, this is definitely not kind of doomed to fail. This is definitely, well, I mean, doomed to fail in the sense of, okay, two Randy Newmans in stereo was an ill choice. When we get to, again, a classic that on its own might be a Randy Newman special, but with two Randy Newmans, you know, it's just... Well, yeah, "Somewhere Over the Rainbow." That one is just, and I love this. I love that it's they're in like kind of a romantic posing with like a fireplace behind them, just randomly, and we have I love I just love that for some reason Sandy's wearing a silly hat. That's the thing, they kind of butcher a classic with "Somewhere Over the Rainbow" when it's in stereo. Like, again, you kind of take the romance out of the song. Because one, "Somewhere Over the Rainbow" is not really designed to be a duet. It's not really in itself.
No, it's really not. You're right.
That's the thing. But then you add two, and then you try and make it romantic. Then you have like two Randy Newmans singing. It's kind of doomed to fail. So then it's just kind of madness going on, and then we get stylistically change things up as it keeps going on. So we have "Somewhere Over the Rainbow," which is pretty straightforward. Then we get to each song progressively getting more artsy. And I love that it kind of mirrors those old commercials, the old album commercials, where things get more artsy and ridiculous and kind of music video quality of it. As they get more modern, they kind of reflect the styles of the era where we have I Want It That Way. Yeah.
Dragon, I gotta say, I like this song in its own right a little bit.
You mean the Randy Newman? You mean the Randy Newman interpretation of the song?
No. I mean, I've got a nostalgic soft spot for this song as someone who grew up in the 90s.
I used to, Tiki. I used to.
All right, I'm just letting it out there, man. It's like,
That's fair. Hey, I'm not knocking. I'm just telling you. For me,
there's
there was a
honestly
time.
a couple NSYNC songs and a couple Backstreet Boys songs. Don't get me wrong. I don't I never adamantly listened to NSYNC or Backstreet Boys, but they were on the radio, man. They were on the radio. And there's a couple of them that I've still got a nostalgic soft spot for. I Want It That Way being one of them.
All right.
All right.
It'd be a great song to play in a fast food commercial when you really think about it.
What? I Want It That Way. You're right.
Wouldn't it be? Wasn't Burger King the one that had that saying? Didn't Burger King have the whole "Have it your way"?
Yeah, Burger King had "Have It Your Way."
I wonder if there has to be some commercial where they use that song, right? I'm not crazy with it. There has to be at least one commercial where they.
I'll have to look into that.
I remember, what's hilarious is real quick. I don't want to go on the whole tangent. Real quick, Burger King, they had this thing recently, like it might have been last year, end of last year or something. They tried changing it up, or they tried changing up the whole "Have It Your Way" saying, and they had it just be something really ridiculous and stupid. Like have it, for the life of me, I can't remember at the moment. It was like it was some illogical thing, just didn't make any sense. It was like "Have it my way," or like you can have it anyway. Or like I don't know. The point is that this took the complete sense out of the saying. Anyway, so off of that ridiculous tangent, on to the next ridiculous
power something.
Right. So then we have Sipka's. By the way, a little fun fact is during the whole I think it's during I Want It That Way. I guess you can confirm it. Is Sipka is pulling off, for some random reasons, he's pulling off the risky business look as Randy Newman. Seriously, he's not. He's just wearing the shirt with he's pulling the Tom Cruise.
Virtual band back.
Yep. All right, so then we have what is it, Gangnam Style?
Style.
Yep. Like at
one point the largest dragon.
Yeah. Now it's dubstep. No,
you know what? We've never talked about Gangnam Style, Dragon. So, what are your thoughts on Gangnam Style?
Tiki, I gotta be honest, I barely know what it is.
Really?
Isn't it just people dancing?
Japanese guy like dancing.
Yeah, that's pretty much all. That's all I got, really. So is that about it?
Well, that's pretty much what it is. So as long as you know that, it's.
All right, I guess I got it then. Hey, I got Gangnam Style. What do you know?
You pretty much got it. Japanese guy dancing.
All I know is dubstep seems far superior to me, even though I'm barely enlightened to the dubstep culture. All I really know about dubstep primarily is that excellent running gag in Deadpool 2. That's primarily what I know about dubstep. Anyway.
All right, so what I like about Gangnam Style is like Randy is trying so hard to make his style work in this song, but it's just not going at all. Like this is the first song where we really hit where it's like, oh Randy, no, stop while you're ahead, man.
We have two Randy Newmans for the price of one, wearing suits and sunglasses and just speaking gibberish. Oh god, it's ridiculous. Then we have let's see. Then we have Total Eclipse of the Heart. Oh yeah, I think we. Oh yeah, we have the Randy Newman turning gag. That's hilarious. We're just turning. Remember what's the lyric again when he's turning?
These costume changes.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, then we have the big one. Oh, okay. Tell me about the big one.
Give me 1 sec.
Give you a hint, folks. One of the great animated openings. One of the greats.
Oh, All-Star. Right.
Yeah.
All-Star.
It's kind of mixing.
The only thing that I would have changed about this one is I really would have wanted to hear Sipka's like, somebody once told me the rail was gonna roll.
Yeah, that would have been fantastic. I think that's I'll talk this up, but I got to admit, That's kind of a mistake in the editing if you don't take advantage of Randy Newman saying those lyrics. I got to be honest. That's a mistake in the editing, Joshua Thomas. I'm sorry. Kind of is. Doesn't kill anything, but still, it's like a little bit. I could have had a V8 of retroactive.
Right.
Like, oh, why didn't I think of that? Do you mean the kind of the perverse thing? What I think about is that it's kind of taken one of the great animated openings. I know All-Star wasn't first used in Shrek, but I mean seriously, it was like one of the great. That makes that opening in Shrek. All-Star helps that opening really. It's an excellent opening. And you kind of take kind of an icon of a DreamWorks movie, and you also have kind of an icon of a Pixar movie, kind of singing that. So it's just kind of perverse. It's kind of a perverse.
You're right.
It's kind of funny. All right, so let's see. So then, I guess moving on from that, we have "Look at Me Now," which basically gets the situations we'd never imagine Randy Newman in. We just never would picture Randy Newman in the situations of like, look at me now.
Oh God!
With like he and Sandy are linked together. I gotta tell you, it's stupid looking as all get out, but you know what?
He's got this like stupid like dollar bill like bling on around his neck, like this gold dollar bill.
Here's the thing, Tiki. Here's the thing. As stupid as it looks, I gotta tell you, something kind of touched me in this. They have this chain that's linked together. It's like, that's very impractical, but kind of nice. It's like, look at that.
Oh man,
it's as impractical and stupid as all get out, but you know what? That's kind of nice. It's kind of romantic. It's a little romantic through line. They're all doing these songs together, and you know what? Randy Newman and Sandy Newman all decked out in all this, all this hip hop attire and everything. You know what? Kind of nice.
All right, and then we get Enter Sandman.
Oh, real quick, we also have that great dialogue after getting into it for the song, and then the rain saying, "Look at me now." Okay, it's like, so Sandy saying, "Look at me now." Okay, and then there's just like basically she's about to drop an F-bomb. Like, more Usher than a mother, Sandy. Come on, potty mouth. Which again might be. I'm gonna blow your mind here. Okay, I'm gonna dig deep. I'm gonna dig deep. So. Of course, Mark Sipka being again. Look, I don't want to just say I don't want to box him into the whole family-friendly thing. I think we've learned a little something about the guy. Again, it's comedy for the sake of comedy, but he doesn't want to.
I feel like for him, it's less about like being upstanding and moral, and just more about kind of hitting that all-age demographic. I feel like for him, hitting that all-age demographic is very satisfying to him.
Right.
Honestly, I feel like Captain Logan is kind of the same way, because I've had discussions with Captain Logan about his lack of swearing. Mostly how mostly kind of the difference where it's like I'm on a Disney Channel and yet I tend to swear like a sailor, and Logan's like, "Hey man, I totally respect that, and you're just kind of showing your personality, but for me, I'm doing this comic book show, and so I like to." I like to keep it clean, but believe me, off air, I'm, you should hear some of the stuff that me and the other host talk about. So yeah, I don't know, Dragon. I feel like that's the way I look at Sipka. Like, I don't feel like Sipka's trying to censor himself. If anything, I feel like he's just trying to reach a broader demographic.
Right, and again, I like my point being is like kind of like maybe a little tip of the hat to what maybe like it was a little bit of a tip of the hat to what Sipka does.
Uh-huh.
But I mean, that's the thing though. I love that Sipka has he's kind of getting back into the stand-up special, which again is a good stand-up special, regardless. So and of course Sipka is heavily involved in this. So I guess it's somewhat connected, but yeah, it's always great to see Sipka again is kind of unfettered. He's not chained to any parameters, but again, he's just kind of being himself. So it is nice.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see. So then we have Enter Sandman.
God.
Enter the Sandman.
This is just like the apex of ridiculous at this point.
Yep. Where we have we have like the all black trick here. Where basically you have a black background and we have these duplicate. It's the old we have a black backdrop. And we have the duplicating heads move, where basically we have like kind of like the heads of the singers are mirrored, they're basically like it's wall to wall heads, man. It's wall to wall heads.
God.
You know, I'm it's just heads as far as the eye can see. We have like this. I don't know if you caught this, Tig. This is going to amuse me, especially on a rewatch. If you look at Sandy, Sandy's just kind of like Piper Hinsen. What she's doing with Sandy here, she's just giving this wide-eyed kind of like stare, dead-on stare as she's singing. It's just kind of weird, and I just kind of love it. You know, she's going to look. I presume she's looking big because it's being shot, maybe being shot from multiple angles. I'm not sure how this was shot, but regardless, it's like she's her eyes are wide open, just kind of staring dead on at the camera. It's just kind of funny.
Well, Dragon, I mean, that's the big thing about Piper's performance that I just love throughout this thing. I mean, it's kind of hard to talk about the performance. I'm kind of struggling with this because, as you said, it does kind of just come down to, a list of doing a bunch of songs in a Randy Newman impression. But yeah, like what I love about Piper's performance here is I feel like it's the non-dialogue stuff, the reactions and the body language around Randy. I feel like it's that kind of stuff that really brings this character to life, that really sort of informs us on who Sandy Newman might be as a character.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So let's see. Of course, we get to the end of everything. Which is after we've kind of run the gambit of all the music videos, well, all the little samplings of the music on the album. We hit the couple in bed and basically well, there you go, folks. Now do yourself a favor and I think in unison, like, go under the covers, and the two go under the covers. And let's just say they have a good time. And as they're having a good time, I really love this shot, by the way. I love this shot where, as the covers are moving, it's kind of a trippy shot because again, they're in the same position as what's on the album cover. We pan down as the feet are on whatnot's kicking under the sheets, whatever. The cover is moving on the bed, the white sheet, the white sheeting of the background and whatnot, and I love how the cover moves with the pretty much with the thumbnail and everything of the video is. I think it's a really good shot, and there's a really great final shot too. It was a smart call. I liked it. Nice. And again, it's just taking the absurdity and like cranking it a little. Basically, I think what we did here is that Just Giggle It fashion, they always like rip the knob off. I think here was like they kind of kept cranking it throughout the thing. At the very end, just it snapped off. I think the knob kind of snaps off at the very end. Mm-hmm. Like a big turn, like turn. I have the knob. What do I do with it? Toss it. Like one of those things. Why'd you rip the knob off? Because we're next level. All right. So I just basically taught him, like, probably whoever is in the sketch just toss it to Ponzi randomly. And Alex just gives like a thumbs up, like, yeah, we're next level, and gives like a heavy metal sign, like, yeah. That is a ridiculous kind of abstract interpretation of how we're ripping the knob off metaphor, but all said, then we have the subscriber tag.
Yeah. That's just basically Randy Newman. Just hey folks, hope you like this video. Like and subscribe. Do right? Or is there anything I'm missing?
No, you got it. But I wanted to point something out. Joshua Thomas was in the comments just now. Kind enough
nice.
To send us something that again, the points might be a little moot, but I'll leave it up to you, Tiki. We've actually been sent all the original audio files for the songs.
I mean, what? So what are you saying? Like, the thing is, I don't know if I could get to that through my phone to play them. Like,
no, I mean, I could play them right now. I'm saying, like, do you want to do?
You could play them.
What I'm saying is it moot or do we even?
I mean, if you want to play one or two more, depending on your day, I'll leave it up to you.
All right. Well, let me. I'm saying, what do you want to hear? Is what I'm asking.
I don't know. Let's hear some All Star.
All right. Unfortunately, it's still not the beginnings of that. But let's just hear for novelty's sake here. So let me uno momento here, folks.
All that glitters gold. Only shooting stars with the gold. It's a cool place, burn. Wait till it gets colder. You put it up now, wait till you get older. The medium and that's different. There's about a hole in the satellite picture. The high speed skate, it's pretty good. The water's getting warm, so you might as well swim. My world's on fire, how about yours? Basically, I like it and I never get bored.
All right.
Wait. Are you saying this is an actual like album, basically?
Well, basically, there's more to the songs than we had teased. I guess they sang a little bit more of the songs that eventually went on the album. So basically, it's more of a fuller clip. Is kind of what's been sent to us very graciously.
Oh man.
That's simply wonderful. And again, like I don't want to just knock it like, yeah, and it didn't have the somebody once told me. But seriously, we got a lot more out of it.
I want the somebody once told me.
Well, so do I, but sometimes life works out different. Anyway, no, but seriously, that's really cool. I don't want to undercut that at all.
Yeah, for sure.
Seriously, tremendous. And again, many thanks.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that, Josh.
Many thanks, many kudos. All right, again, we can play all the live long day, but
I'd love to, but
let's not chance it. But also being very gracious, though. And who knows? Might use some other spots. Who knows? Yeah. All right. So, final thoughts.
Yeah, Dragon. I thought this was a very, very good showcase for Piper Hinsen. Man, I really thought that her and Sipka just knocked it out of the park. It was a great idea. It was a wonderful parody of not just Randy Newman, but also those cheesy best of compilation commercials that we see on TV. It was a great sort of, melding of different parodies. And I think both of their Randy Newman impressions are spot on. I just think the mere idea of Sandy Newman as a character is, let's just say, Dragon, something that I'd like to explore more in pitch form. That really is kind of like I'd say she's up there with Ken Armand as like a big pitch character.
Well, maybe, but I mean, Tiki, come on. I don't know how many other characters are up there with Ken Armand.
Ken Armand. All right.
Armand. Sorry. God, never gets old. But,
all right, final thoughts on your end, Dragon.
Final thoughts on my end. I think it's a testament to Just Giggle It committing to what could be like a one note, like what we've seen before. It could in itself be like a one note, kind of like what we've seen on Family Guy, or honestly, this whole thing feels very Robot Chicken. Because the only one of the other times I've seen like a compilation gag, something along these lines, was the whole Joey Fatone and the elf, the weird elephant thing from Return of the Jedi. Max Rebo, right. and Joey Fatone. Fatone. That's the one. Anyway, so it kind of reminded me a little bit of that, and it's kind of having fun with that, and basically it's kind of taking a gag, like it's almost like a fusion of those two ideas, and I don't mean that in like a derivative sense. I mean it's kind of taking kind of the familiar with like what we've seen with these gags, and it's kind of spinning in a whole different way. It's really committing to kind of the in-universe gag of the sketch here, where it's fully realized and it's absurdly well produced. That's the thing. I love how again they can really capture each ridiculous style in the songs. I think it's just kind of really it's a really well thought out premise. Maybe not their best parody, but still there's a lot of really excellent stuff here. Where we have basically Piper Hinsen impersonating an impression of Randy Newman, which in itself just sounds like mind-bending. Oh my God, she's doing an impression of Randy Newman. And and it's hard to. And again, I just want to highlight this again. I know I said this before, but again, it's something really next level where you have to. You're singing badly without endangering the comedy of the sketch. You have to sing badly without kind of threatening the structural integrity of the comedy of the sketch. You have to sing badly without. I guess the best way of putting it, it's basically singing badly without going into the thing we've seen done so many times, to cringeworthy comedy. We never want to see cringeworthy comedy. And Tiki, one of the things, well, I don't want to say never see cringeworthy comedy. Let me put it this way. cringeworthy comedy is a make or break sometimes. Sometimes you can go really bad. Sometimes you can go really funny. Sometimes you get you nine seasons if you're lucky. But the point being, I think bad singing a lot of the times feeds into a lot of cringeworthy comedy, and this could have fallen into that trap very easily, but it did not, and I'm very proud of it for that. This is it's a fun musical parody. Maybe not their best parody, but in terms of a musical parody, it's really clever. And also a little kind of parting hello to Louise Brooks in the comments as well.
Louise.
Louise.
All right.
So yeah, I guess that about
Live
does
for the
it.
most part, Louise. We're just about to sign off, but nice to see you. Nice to see you.
So I guess that does it. Of course, we have I believe our final installment coming up of our Piper Hinsen love letter season here, of the kind of the Piper Hin season of it all.
Piper Hin season.
Yes.
Yep. Next week.
Next week. Won't say what it is quite yet, but folks, I think it's pretty funny and kind of pretty early. I'll give you a hint, folks. It's an early sketch. I'll say that much about it. That's too big a tell. It's an early sketch. You'll see. See if you can guess it. We'll shout you out. Anyway, that does it for now in the grab bag until our next exciting reach into the Just Giggle It grab.
Ba 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 ba.